All right, my name is Ann, and I'm excited to talk to you today about a growing community, the VHA Extended Reality Network. We had a nurse in 2018 who recognized a problem. The problem was increased opioid use and extended length of stay at a VA medical center following total knee replacement. So what do? She had an idea. Maybe there's a better way to do this. And that better way might be virtual reality, or VR, immersive therapy to help distract from a painful recovery, from a painful procedure. So what this nurse did next was reach out to other VA medical centers and ask, are you guys doing this? Are you using virtual reality? If so, how? What do I do next? She got a very consistent response. That's a great idea. We would love to do that. We're not doing it yet, so sorry we can't be of much help. So what do you do when you don't know what to do? Well, if any of you know Caitlin Rollins, mentioned earlier by the secretary, you know that she's going to find a way. And that's exactly what she did. She got leadership buy-in, she secured funding, she found a vendor, and she determined, because she knew it was the right thing for veterans, to stand up a virtual reality program. So in 2018, this veteran was the first veteran to use virtual reality after total knee replacement at the Charles George VA in Asheville, North Carolina. At the age of 84, he had never even heard of virtual reality, but he trusted his care team. Following his procedure, he was experiencing an unusual amount of pain, and even for him, opioids weren't working. But after just 10 minutes of VR use, he said that was the first time he hadn't thought about his pain since surgery. VR then began to expand across VA. In July 2020, we began to see new use cases. So we had pain management, anxiety, boredom, mood disorders, physical therapy, creative arts therapy, dementia, post-traumatic stress, and even spinal cord injury. And in St. Louis, Charlie and Matt were able to introduce virtual reality to their veteran, Eric. Eric loved gaming and found the immersion exciting. In fact, his response was, I can't wait to see what happens next. And what happens next was expansive growth. VA was beginning to see a growth of thought leaders and game changers in the space of VR. We were amassing a crowd. And what do we know about crowds? Well, as a 5-year-old, I got lost in a crowd at Disney World. I know people disappear in crowds. You can get caught up in the wrong crowd, and then you follow the crowd. And lately, increasingly, people have been uncomfortable in crowds. So we wanted to harness the positive power of a crowd. A few ways you might find crowd defined would be people gathered together in a disorganized or unruly way. Or if used as a verb, they might be a crowd. To crowd could be to fill a space, leaving little or no room for movement. To put it lightly, this is what we were starting to see happen across VA. There were projects, initiatives, pilots popping up everywhere. At best, it was disorganized, and we weren't seeing great growth and movement. So how do we move from this crowd to a positive impact, to something more meaningful? We believe that through collaboration, we could move our crowd toward a community. Communities are places maybe prior to the last few years we would have thought would be bound by geography, right? But what we've learned, if nothing else, is that zip codes don't really matter. Backgrounds don't matter. Professional disciplines don't matter. Ethnicity doesn't matter. What matters is that we have a group of people coming together with common interests, attitudes, and goals. And so what we saw and what we created was the VHA Extended Reality Network, a community of people with a common attitude, interest, and goal of seeing extended reality shared across all VA. The VHA XR network is inclusive. We want to include augmented reality, mixed reality, and virtual reality. We come together in a common space on a virtual platform and in meetings and group gatherings online to share resources, lessons learned, successes, failures, standard operating procedures, templates for electronic health records. We also facilitated a 12-site, 6-use case pilot. And across these 12 sites, we're evaluating falls risk assessment, procedural use, neurological risk assessment, anxiety, pain, and palliative care. What we've seen is from July of 2020, 49 sites using extended reality became 82 sites just 1 year later, July of 2021. As of today is 109 sites. And why does that matter? It matters for veterans like those under the care of Dr. Tharu Anaswamy in Dallas, Texas, who's using mixed reality to address phantom limb pain. One of his veterans, after a session of mixed reality, not only completed what was recommended, but opted to do additional sessions because he felt like it was so helpful. Or Dr. Chris Fowler in Tampa, who's exploring virtual reality with cognitive behavioral therapy to address chronic pain management. We have Megan Rumsey in Reno, Nevada, who's exploring VR use, XR use for at-home pain management, and even thinking ahead to how we might leverage extended reality to address female-specific challenges. We have over 400 staff, employees engaged across our network, and at least 20 use cases, likely more. But there's definitely room for more, right? There's room for more subject matter experts, room for more clinical champions, researchers, administrators, thought leaders, more lessons learned, more ideas, and always more solutions that change the lives of veterans and the way we think about how we deliver care. In his book, A Barbarian Way, Erwin McManus provided a helpful list of how we think about communities, how we name them. So a community of ants is called a colony. A community of fish is a school. A community of whales is a pod. A community of lions is a pride. A community of buzzards is a committee. He also goes on to say that our greatness is unleashed in the context of community. So what do you call a community of VA researchers, clinicians, thought leaders, program office directors, medical center directors, VISN directors, internal and external thought leaders who are coming together to grow and change and learn how we think about and how we deliver care? We call it a community, and we call it the VHA Extended Reality Network. And there's room for more. There's room for you. Thank you.